Come in, welcome welcome in, everyone, welcome in to the late edition of Tea with Lady DJ. Welcome in. I hope that you all, I've got something else for you, so welcome in. Thank you for joining me. As you're coming in, for those that were with me last night, it was a whole kerfuffle. And I don't know why it happened, but it did happen. So, welcome in, and I'm going to tell you about it in just a few minutes. But I want to thank you all. Thank you so much. Welcome in. Tonight, as you're coming in, be sure to get your heart meets, that little right there above in my hair. Get your heart meets, all of your points. Then the little arrow at the bottom that's going like this, share this live in your stories, please. I'd appreciate it. Bam. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Let me change it. Have you all know that I play music to get me back in line. And this song right here, it's called Water by Tara Lavone. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's special. It just puts me in a peaceful place. Do you ever need some music just to put you in that place of serenity? Yeah, it's at the end of the day. But welcome in, everyone. And as you're coming in, you know my goal is always to get 20,000 likes, because that helps me to get out in the FYP. Whatever that means, I have no idea. I just know that I was told that that's what I need to do, is get my numbers up, my likes up to 20,000. So I'm going to ask you all to tap the screen, and we have some wonderful moderators, absolutely wonderful moderators. And on this platform, at this church, we do not lock the doors. We don't lock the doors. So we ask you to be mindful and be engaging, yes, down in the chat, because then it affects your points up here. So yes, indeed, be engaging, but be mindful. Be mindful. Thank you so much. And from Hawaii, so I would say aloha. Is that right? Did I say it right? Aloha? Yes? Thank you. Tell me if I said it correctly. So we will not block you. You will never be blocked in this platform, on this platform. We want you to come and learn something. I want you to come and learn something. My coach, which is David Burris, he always says, I want to give you permission to think differently. To think differently. If what you've been doing has not been working, what's the harm in listening to a 71-year-old lady trying to pour back into you? Because it is indeed working for me to successfully date. I think I've covered all of it. So what the moderators know is that they will not kick you out, but they will mute you if your conversation in the chat is unbecoming. So we want to be mindful always of what we say how we say it. I said, even in when we're talking to one another in our relationships, we should be mindful of the tone and the tenor and the depth of what it is that we're saying to each other. Hey, Jeanette, can you believe it? I am back. Okay, so let me give you a briefing. Last night we were having the absolute best time. I really believe that we were. It was informative because I had studied and researched. Anytime I come before you, I am not coming to you from a place that I'm sitting. Um, and it was, I am going to, since they took the live away, though they restored my page, they have not restored my content. So later tonight, I'm going to re-record it, and then I'm going to put it on my YouTube page. And if someone would pin it, please. My YouTube channel is You, Me, and T with Lady DJ. With Lady D. You, Me, and T. TEA with Lady D. And when you go to my channel, please subscribe and turn your notifications on, because I will, if you miss my lives here, I will upload it there so you can sit at your leisure and rewind it, talk about it, or whatever. But please subscribe. But last night, in the middle of us having great conversation, and it happened twice back to back. It was Thursday that they didn't shut my live down, but they said that I had said something that was inappropriate. And at that time, it was 166 or 67 persons inside in the chat, and they all went away. They said that it was not appropriate for them. But when I got off, I couldn't even find the restriction. Last night, they said I had violated community guidelines. And I appealed it. I sat there and watched it. It said submitted, it said reviewed, and then it said denied. All in while I was sitting there looking at it. Of course, I have a speech impediment. When I cry and I get angry, oh, nobody understands what I'm saying. So I had to gather myself. Yeah. And so at 3, probably it was at 3, then 3:30, I got notification from the agent with TikTok that said that they would review it and that they would get back with me. And at 7:18 tonight, they restored my page. I was so thankful for that, because I was like, I've come to know you guys, and what am I going to do? But I had some wonderful friends that helped me get my page started. So if you would please also follow me on Lady DJ2. It's Lady, capital Lady, space, capital D, capital J, and the number 2. If you would follow me over there so I can get my numbers up, so that whatever caused them to get a hair turned sideways, I will always have a way to get back to you guys. I will always have a way to get back to you guys. So, and then it's at the @ symbol, lady.dj20. lady.dj20. If you can't find it with just the Lady DJ2. Okay. So tonight, you guys, tonight, we, I was not coming on, okay? Let me tell you something. I was not coming on. I'm going to be honest because my feelings were hurt. I was in my feelings because I try to stay in my lane. I don't do drama. My assignment here is it's a God assignment when I do tea time, but I also read my stories that I've written on Queenfully Spoken, and I was just out of pocket. I was out of pocket. But tonight, I would have talked about this earlier, but Be Yourself said, you've got plenty of time to get ready. And I didn't curl my hair or any of those things. And I'm not going to hold your hand. Get up and go get ready. So I am here. And I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that I am here with you guys. Hey there, how are you? I'm glad that I am here with you all. So let's get started. Are you ready? Did you bring your tea in with you? Do you see, I've got a big mug. I have my electrolytes in here because I needed to do more of it with my water and lemon. So let's get started. What we're talking about tonight is you hear a lot that says, well, when I go out on a date, it's to collect data. Haven't you heard that? Doesn't it just make you want to barf? And then you ask them, what did they collect? And they can't tell you. You ask them, how many dates did you go out? And they say 3 times. And then you say to them, have you been intimate with this person? And more than not, the answer is yes. But what about the data you were collecting? So, the subject matter tonight is standards, boundaries, and preferences. Standards, boundaries, and preferences. So if you got your paper and pencil, as you tap the screen for me, 20,000 is the goal. I appreciate you all in advance. Don't forget to get your heart me's. Don't forget to be engaging in the chat because it adds up to your points, okay? So, standards, boundaries, and preferences. Standards, boundaries, and preferences. Can you all hear me okay? Because I know I'm soft-spoken and I didn't check. Is that better? Can you hear me? I hope you can. These 3 often get mixed up, but they serve different purposes. So let's be sure to take good notes because you're going to want to do a self-evaluation. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. Chuck E. Cheese, I see you, T. Jolie. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all so much. So let's get an understanding. The Bible says in all of our acquiring, get understanding. Get understanding. And there are those, maybe not you, but there are those that are going out into these dating streets. And there are woolly bullies out there. My gracious, today, there are woolly bullies out there. And are you prepared to meet these woolly bullies. Do you know what you need to do to be prepared to meet these woolly bullies? Well, you need to have your standards. You need to know what they are. You need to know what your boundaries are. Your standards, your boundaries, your preference. And I'm going to cover all three of those. And I'm going to talk to you about when do you discuss them and how you discuss them. So are you ready? Okay. Standards. Standards are your non-negotiables about how you deserve to be treated and what you need in a partner for healthy relationships. Thank you so much. Thank you. They are about character and core values. So what are standards? They are non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. I can't say that enough. Non-negotiable about how you deserve to be treated. These are not expectations. These are not entitlements. These are not unrealistic expectations, but how you deserve to be treated and what you need in your partner or in a partner for a healthy relationship. So I'm going to use me as an example, okay? I'm going to use me as a healthy example. So my standards are, I need you to treat me with respect and kindness. Why do I need this? Because I am going to reciprocate. I am going to give you just that. I am going to respect you and I am going to be kind. I need emotional availability. And if this is one that you need, write it down while we're talking so you can go back and look at some other things that you might need. See, God is going to give you what you need, not necessarily what you want. All right? So for me, that person needs to be emotionally available for me. And he needs to be able to communicate openly. Okay? For me, I need that person to be honest and trustworthy. Honest and trustworthy. He must share similar life goals. So, if I was still in the childbearing, well, do you want kids or no? Where do you want to live? I'm not interested in moving. These are things, similar life goals. Non-negotiables. He must be financially responsible. Listen to what I'm saying, financially responsible. You didn't hear me say 6 figures. You didn't hear me say any of those things, but financially responsible. Not necessarily wealthy, but mature about how he manages his monies. Okay? These are mine. He needs to respect my time and commitments. There are times when I don't want company, when I don't even turn on the TV. I just need the serenity, the peace of the quietness of what quietness can offer. Because at that time, if I petition God for something, or if I need to hear from him, I can't always be talking. I have to be quiet so that I can hear how he's going to direct me. So I need that person to respect the fact, my time, Don't waste my time, because Gregory used to say, protect your T. TEA. Protect your T. That is your time, your energy, and your attendance, your availability. Those need to be protected at all times. At all times. So the next thing is boundaries. Boundaries. Now, boundaries are limits that you set to protect your well-being. Limits that you set to protect your well-being and define what behavior you will or will not tolerate. I don't say accept. I say, for me, you can say you will or will not accept. I say that I will or will not tolerate. I will not tolerate. So as I'm going to stop right there for just a minute. Are you all tapping the screen for me, please? If you're tapping the screen for me, because I'm not going to be on here long, and I would love to get to my 20,000 before I leave you. So if you would take some of your tea, get some of your tea. I'm going to have some of mine, okay? And then we'll get back at it. And for those that came in late, please don't forget to follow me on my backup page, which is Lady Space DJ2 at Lady.DJ20. That is my backup page, and I would appreciate you all following me there as well, just in case something happens like last night. Okay, so we tap that screen, we do a power tap, and let's see, get to 10. We can do that before 11. And then down here at the bottom of your phone is a little arrow that goes like this. And if you go there, you can post it to your stories, and it'll get out a lot faster, and a lot more persons will see it. So if you don't mind doing that, I certainly appreciate it. So as I was saying, thank you so much. Thank you. As I was saying, boundaries, these are limits that you set to protect your well-being and define what behavior you will or will not tolerate, accept. They are about your actions in response to the others. So I'm using me again as an example. I will not continue dating someone. These are my boundaries. I will not continue dating someone who yells at me during a time of disagreement. I have a specific reason. For me, it is, I don't know if I want to say it's triggering, but in my mind's eye, that if you feel the need to raise your voice at me, then I feel that you will raise your hand at me also, and that we cannot have. So I need to let you know that I don't share passwords. I don't check my partner's phone, because he is just that. He is just a partner. He is not your husband. You are not his wife. We are talking about in dating relationship. And so if I have to share my password or check his phone, then I have not discerned whether or not he is being honest or whether or not he's trustworthy. Remember, I said that's that non negotiable. So these I'm talking about for me. So I'm not talking about for you, but these are my non negotiables. He should be honest and trustworthy. He must be respectful and kind. That's for me. That's what I need. He needs to be emotionally available. So if I say that up there in my standards, then down here in my boundaries, I'm not sharing my password. And I'm not going to check your phone. I don't know if you remember, or if you all are old enough to remember, it used to be said, that which is done in the dark will always come to the light. That which is done in the dark will always come to the light. Remember that. If God wants you to see it, you don't have to go searching for it. It's in your face. I need alone time because I say I need alone time, but the reality is that the longer we are single in our singleness, we are still single even if we're dating. We are single. If your last name has not changed to his last name, you are single. You may be in a committed relationship, but you are single. Because if you were to go fill out an application, it's not going to ask you, do you have a boo thing? It's going to say, are you single, married, or divorced, widower? That's what it's going to ask you. So this jackassery, I'm single, or single. That's foolishness. We are grown folk, people. We are grown. We shouldn't be that kind of stuff that's worldly. It means nothing. Yes, I am single. Yes, I am in a relationship with someone. But he has not chosen to ask me to take it to another level. So I am single. Yes. So I need some time alone. And the longer we are alone, we value our space and our peace. We do. We value that. And so don't let someone in your ear say to you, girl, I wish I had a man. I wish I had a woman. It's been a long time. Okay. Go out and eat. Go to a movie. A FedEx, UPS, the Postal Service is going to bring you what you want and drop it at your doorstep. It's not going to happen. But you don't need to go out there unless you have your what? Your standards and your boundaries solid, concrete, 10 toes down, because these will not change. You may add more things to it, but they're not going to change. They're not going to change. So, and I'm not going to apologize for wanting that time. I'm not, because I trust you, you need to trust me. I need some time. When you go to the bathroom, you don't stop and look in the mirror every time you leave in your house, do you? You don't. And there's time when you need just to be by yourself, to gather yourself. Even in marriage, you need that space. You need BPU. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. You need that space. For me, when we're talking about dating, I will not tolerate being pressured for physical intimacy. I will not tolerate it. No, you're not going to. No. Because that's the reason why we talked about last night the reality of the morning after. The reality of the morning after. I am not, that's a boundary for me. I am not going to tolerate being pressured about physical intimacy. Everyone, both men and women, because we have those ladies that can be aggressive as well. And if the man is not there yet, they can be aggressive to get what they want as well. So what I say, thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. I say, find your no. Find your no. And as you stand 10 toes down on everything else, no. I will check out. Literally, Elvis will leave the building when the conversation becomes disrespectful. When the conversation becomes disrespectful, I am sitting there just looking at you, and you are sounding like the little man on Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. That's what you're sounding like to me, because I, Elvis, have left the building. That's a boundary. I will not be disrespected under any circumstances. I will not stay in a relationship when I am having to do the majority of the emotional lifting. I will not. That is my boundary. Those are my boundaries. And if any of them, you go back and listen to this so that you can go through it and add more to yours. But these are just a few of my boundaries, and this is a few of my standards. But you should have at least 5 of each one before you are about to go out here in this dating street. You should have at least 5 of them solid before you decide that you're ready to get out in the dating streets. Now let's talk about preference. These are your likes and wants. Likes and wants. Things that make someone more attractive to you, but they are not deal breakers. Things that make that person more attractive, but they're not deal breakers. They are flexible and about compatibility. So, for me, I'd like someone taller than me. If not equal to me, at least taller than me, right? But am I going to be so shallow that he meets and checks off some boxes that I talked about in my standards and in my boundaries? He's met those. And so I'm 5'7.5", and he's 5'7". Am I going to kick him out off the curb? Am I going to kick him off the curb because he's not taller than me? Really? Preference. I need someone, just talking about me, I need someone that has a sense of humor, that has a sense of humor, that has not lost the child within them. There are persons on here that know me, and there's a person that I reference as F250. Now, F250 will say, "What are you doing today? You want to go get early breakfast and then go chase some waterfalls?" And when he says that, he knows the kid in me is just going to jump at that, right? And so he takes me to breakfast, but he also fixes lunch. And we get in the back of his F-250 and we find a place or a waterfall that we can just sit, and sometimes we don't even say anything to each other. And it is absolutely magnificent. Absolutely. I need that. I need that. I need him to be okay with different music. See, I like all music. I like country music. I love bluegrass. I do. And I have hobbies. I like to do ceramics. Just all kinds of fun stuff. I do. Don't lose that in you. And someone that just wants to sit at home, rub their feet together, and sit in front of old movies on the TV. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm an introvert, and I have social anxiety that I'm working through. I am working on it. But I need for him to be okay if we're out in public and it gets to be too crowded for me. If I take his hand, it doesn't mean that, I'm trying to get up on you. I just need to feel safe. That's me. But that's us getting to know each other and having that open communication, being able to communicate openly. That's how we get to healthy relationships. We have to be able to talk to each other. We must be able to talk to each other. We must be able to communicate. And without that, we don't have anything. We don't even have a situationship. We have a one-night stand, but that's it. And they're deuces after that's all over with. So, the key difference, standards and boundaries. Standards and boundaries protect your well-being. Preference enhance compatibility, but can be compromised on. You can compromise on preference, but you don't compromise on your standards and your boundaries, because that's to protect your well-being. That's what it does. So being too rigid, when you're being too rigid with preference, can limit your great connection. But compromising on standards, when you compromise on your standards and your boundaries, usually leads to unhealthy relationships. Usually leads to unhealthy relationships. That's what happens. So now let's talk about that. So at the beginning, I said we're always talking about collecting data, and you really collected nothing. So when do we talk about our standards, our boundaries, and our preference? When? Are you ready? Are we tapping? Are we almost at that 20,000? So let's have a drink of your tea. I've got mine. Let's have a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna once I finish this, if you have any questions, I'm gonna open the box for you to come up and ask questions if you have any. If not, we'll call it a night. Okay, so now when and how do we address our standards, our boundaries, and our preference? When and how do we address those? What you do not do is you don't sit down and list them out. That's what you don't do. But naturally reveal them, or they naturally will reveal themselves. But the reason why we miss this is because we're always talking. We're always talking, never listening. And we're giving that person the blueprint to you. Because you say, well, I want him to respect me, and I want him to do this, and I want her to do that, and and I want her to do this. And they will do just that until they get what they want. And then they ghost you. Think about it. Your actions and choices, who you continue to date, who you don't. Organic conversation. There we are. Back to communication. Organic conversation. Discussing values, life goals, what matters to you. These are conveyed. Your standards are conveyed without beating them over the head with it. They are conveyed. You all, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Thank you. These are conveyed. So early vetting, asking questions in the first few dates about things that matter to you. Now, before I ever accept a date or we're going to have conversation, I need to know that you're single. I need to know that you are not in a relationship with anyone. And I need to know, is there this person who thinks that they are in a relationship with you, but you have not DTR. You have not defined the relationship. That I need to know before I accept your date. This is what I need to know before. After you have successfully, or if you lie, it's always going to come to the light. Remember, everything that you do in the dark will come to the light. Then, when it comes to the light, you will have broken one of my standards. Because what did I say? I need you to be honest and trustworthy. So if it comes to the light that you didn't answer any one of those questions, then we're not going any further. Because you can't explain it to me why you felt the need to lie to me. You can't explain it. So, timing. First few dates for basic compatibility stuff like life goals, values. Deeper standards emerge naturally over weeks and months as you get to know each other. But the basics, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Is someone in a relationship that you don't know about? You have some of these people on TikTok. and they're in a whole relationship with you and you don't know anything about it. That kind of stuff. Okay? Example. I'm still talking about me. Instead of saying, I have a standard that partners must be ambitious, you might say, what are you working towards in your career? And see if the answer aligns with what you need. You see how easy that was? See, it's not as hard as you think it is. We make it hard because we lend our ear to persons that are not in successful anything. And they're listening to somebody else. And so it's just mess being perpetuated and rolling down stream, right? Boundaries. You communicate boundaries when they become relevant, not as a preventive lecture. Because if I tell you that I don't like for you to raise your voice at me because I think you will raise your hand to me, I might be right. But you won't do it until you have me in your grasp. And thank you, Shidra, thank you. And you will not do it until you have me isolated because you have love bombed me. You have gaslight. All of those words, I'm learning you all's lingo. You've done all of these things. And then what I was thinking actually came to be. But if it is in my heart and in my head, now I'm paying attention. We must always be paying attention. We must always be listening. Talk less, listen more, and intentionally listen. So, when something happens that crosses that line, you can say, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. That's your no. I'm not comfortable with that. When patterns emerge, I've noticed we've always done what you want to do. I need us to take turns choosing because you have recognized that there's a brat in this person. You've recognized that there's some selfishness going on in this person. You don't have to get upset and angry, hands on your hip, neck moving, loud and abrasive. You don't have to do that. But you do have to say, I've noticed. And if I've noticed it and I've recognized wrong because I didn't use a you statement, I didn't say you did this, which is accusatory, but I said, I've noticed it. Then the ball is now in your court. And you can say, that's not my intention. That was not what I was intending. And you can correct it. Before situations take place, know your boundaries. Just so you know, I'm not ready to meet your family yet. I'm not ready to meet your family yet. I need to know more about you before I'm ready to meet your family. And why am I meeting your family so soon? What are we doing? Everything needs to be clear. You need to be clear about what we're saying. You don't say on a date, I have boundaries about yelling, just like I said. But if someone raises their voice, that at that point, you can say, I don't accept or I don't tolerate being spoken to in that manner. You know your words. If you're sitting here listening to me, you have a very large vocabulary, and you know how to parse your words. And if you're sitting here listening to me, you know how to govern your tone and tenor and the depth of what it is that you're saying. If you are sitting here listening to me, you know that I say, if what I am about to say, if what is about to come out of my mouth was said to me and it would hurt my feelings, then I should not say it. So I know that if you've been here with me, you've heard me say this over and over again. It's because I believe it. And I'm giving you permission to think differently because it makes a difference. It does. I don't accept being spoken to in that manner. And not only do I not accept it, I'm going to leave so we can have space. Because sometimes the energy in the room needs to come down. We need to bring it down before we go any further. So, preference. Now we're talking about preferences. You mostly don't talk about these explicitly. You just see if they're there or not. You don't talk about them. Why? Listing preferences can sound shallow. Listing preferences can sound shallow and or demanding. I don't want to go to the cheesecake factory. Really? Okay. Then he has the option to say, well, we're not going anywhere. We can just have a few talks right here and I'm out. You need to take me this place and you need to take me this place. No. Mr. Ford, welcome in. No, those are shallow. They're shallow as they can be and are demanding. Plus, sometimes amazing people don't match your type and you miss out. Sometimes they don't match your type and you miss out because he needs to be 6 feet tall and he needs to have a beard and he needs to have a 6-pack and he needs to have a 6-figure job and he really sometimes we need to stop and look at us and what we're saying. It's fine to mention preferences naturally in conversation. Like, I love hiking. You all that know me, I love playing in the rain. I love taking my shoes off. I don't care if my hair gets wet. I'm not going to have an umbrella. As long as it's not thundering and lightning, I love to play in the rain. And I want that man that's going to be able to say, I'll go with you and play in the rain. Just fine. Because I got flat irons and all of those other things. We can make it better. So I really like country music, and I do. And I love the blues. Oh, I love me some good blues, okay? But then when I say that organically, then you get to see if there's a mutual interest. Otherwise, you've thrown a wet dishcloth over what could be something amazing. So the bottom line is, and I said, think of it this way, please. Standards. Screen for them through questions and observation. Screen through them through questions and observation. Be mindful of the questions and how you're asking them. Boundaries. State them clearly when needed. State them clearly when needed. Enforce them consistently. So if I say that I don't care for conversation with sexual overtones, right? If I say that, sexual overtones, if I say that and you know it, and then I'm going to give you grace because maybe there's been a time since I told you initially that you went there. I'm going to reiterate. I don't care for conversation with sexual overtones. Now, if you insist on crossing that boundary, excuse me for just a second, I've got to do this puzzle. I did it. If you insist on crossing any of the boundaries that are in my head and in my heart, and I have shared with you at that moment when it happens, I can say, I really don't like when you speak to me in that tone. And you insist on it, now the ball is in my court. And you can say very nicely, I just have reservations. We've talked about this before. You seem to infringe on my boundaries. It's been nice. I've enjoyed your company, but I don't think that we're going to go any further with this. And you, see how soft and gentle, that was the softest, gentlest. Remember what I said up at the top? I want someone to respect me and have kindness. Well, I wanted that because I'm going to give it. So, thank you. And I've really enjoyed my time with you. So, and with preferences, please, notice them, but stay open-minded. Notice them, but stay open-minded. The healthiest approach is being clear about what you need, standards and boundaries, while staying flexible about what you want, which are your preferences. Getting to know someone is not conducting a job interview. I did it within an hour. I did it. And we normally finish around 11, don't we? If there's anyone if there's anyone that's down in the chat that has any questions about that I've said, please send an invite. Shut up, Galathea. Galathea, you know I wasn't paying attention. Oh, wait. You all have no idea how nervous I get. I want to share with you all those things that have gotten me to the place where I am now at 71. I am not that same person that I was 28 years ago. And I'm so enjoying it. Miles Monroe said, you are ready to date when you do not need to date. Now allow that to marinate. You are ready to date when you don't need to date. if you're dating, I'm lonely. I don't know what this is. Ain't nobody asking me out. You are ready to date. Hey Marvin, how are you? You are ready to date when you don't need to date. Yeah. And when you are ready to date, when you have your standards and your boundaries in place. They are your non negotiables. They protect your well being. Those two things need to be in place. Your preferences, they're flexible. They indeed are flexible. And I will download this. It matches my blue. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you. Um, I'm going to download this. And for those that are coming in that might not have been here for the whole entire time, it will be uploaded on my YouTube page. I got my 20,000 likes. You all just made my day. After yesterday of having my page restricted, they put me on restriction for 3 days. I didn't know even what happened. So I would not have been able to be back before you before Friday, 10:30 p.m. They were explicit. So once I stopped crying and got myself together, and I went back before them, and I asked them, you look at it again and put it into context. Did you see anything? And then by 7:18 tonight, they restored my page. So that's the reason why I'm coming before you all so late. But I was able to, yeah. So if there are any questions, if there are not, I want to say thank all of you. Bam, I don't know who's here. Paula, Lady P is here. You lady Elvira, I'm going to invite you up. Tell me what you think. Tell me. Welcome in. You all are the absolute best. Yes, you are. And I thank you. I really do. Elvira,
Hello, Miss Donna. Good evening.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
What did you think?
I think it was very informative. A lot of good points. Definitely something I've always, well, I've not always because I haven't been dating too long, but I've always learned a lot from you. And this setting boundaries is one huge thing I had to learn a little bit the hard way. But sometimes I didn't even know what boundaries I wanted. And so you helping me, like, some of them I was like, yeah, that's pretty much, I just didn't have the wording to it or, the just even know that that's an option to look at, sometimes, so this really was helpful, since I have issues with the boundaries. I'm a people pleaser, so it's hard for me to do that sometimes. I have to watch myself and be like, no, you can say no this time.
And no is a complete sentence. I don't owe you an explanation. My no is just that. No.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that sometimes. And my life coach, he would get on to me. He was like, you don't have to say why. You just say no. Just
Just
you,
say no.
I
I
always feel like I have to explain sometimes. That's the people pleaser in me. I don't know why.
yeah.
um,
I don't owe you an explanation because because I've sat with me, Elvira. So I know what my boundaries are. And I don't need to explain to you what they are. but I do need to know them for myself, because if not, we are flip flopping. Hey, B,
Thank you,
welcome
B.
in. We are flip flopping, and we are letting them govern us. Allowing, we are, and Marvin is in here, and I use his statement all the time. We are giving authority to unauthorized persons.
Yeah.
We are giving authority to unauthorized persons. They haven't even they haven't even been interviewed yet. So they're just trying to get the job. So we need to be mindful of that. We're giving authority to unauthorized persons. Yeah.
I need to remember that more often. I catch myself. I'm better at catching myself. Some most of the time it's right before because I'm, learning to just not just blurt it out, but
And
think
I
about
think
it before.
sometimes we think that if we say no, we start to overthink. Well, if we say no, what if they leave? And what if they leave?
Yeah.
Okay. God didn't just make that one and stop. He didn't. He didn't. And there was a lady that I was talking to, and she said that she felt like the person for her was in um was in Texas.
So I'm in
Was
Texas.
was in Texas. But God has a person for us wherever we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has
Oh, so
that.
because she was from Texas, she was saying they have to be from Texas.
Well, she was in California, but her
Okay.
family, if I understood her correctly, her family was in Texas. And, where her values and where she grew up and all of those things. But it's how we present ourselves. That person is wherever we are.
Yeah.
And we probably have, because of our preferences, we've been so rigid with our preferences that we've overlooked some really good people,
Hmm.
because the things that we need to be rigid in, we're not. We need to be rigid in our standards and our boundaries, but we're not. But we're rigid in our preferences. And how is that working for you? It's
No, no,
it's
no. You're exactly right.
not.
The standards are the higher priority.
Yes, yes. So thank you for coming up
Yeah.
and joining me. Thank
Thank
you,
you
thank
for the
you, thank
invite.
you.
You have a good evening.
Hold on just a second. Am I doing this right? I'm not doing it right. Okay.
Well, thank you for all those gifts.
Yeah, thank you for coming up and joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right,
And
I'm gonna go ahead and drop then. Or did you have another question? I'm sorry.
no,
Okay.
no,
All right. You have a good evening.
you as well.
Thank you.
Um, thank you. That almost matched my necklace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, you all, until Tuesday, thank you all for coming out. Um, Galathea, Galathea shocked me. She knows I don't look at the numbers. I don't ever look at the numbers. And she put 154 in the. Don't you all know that I would have slid under the desk? Hey, Big AD, how are you? Thank you for joining me. But listen, if you all missed this, I am going to download it and upload it to my YouTube channel. And You can listen to it. You can replay it. What was that, Galatia? 150? Yeah, I'm so glad you didn't say that until the end. Okay, guys. You know, it would have made me nervous. It would so made me nervous. But I will have this up tonight or in the morning for sure. So if you want to go there, it is You, Me, and TEA with Lady D. That's my YouTube channel. I'm not going to let you all leave me behind, okay? I'm just not going to do it. So I hope everyone has an amazing evening. And I got you off in an hour. Yes, I did. Okay, B, you might have been right. You might have been right. Oh, I hate telling him he's right. To tell him that he was right, I will never hear the end of that. But I did it, B. I did it. Okay, so thank you all. Make sure you have your notifications turned on, and I will see you on Tuesday, okay? Until Tuesday. Good night.